So today basically we're going to look at the pictures, doodles of a kid. So let's look at the first one. So first we see rain, and if we interpret this, we can look at this as a external pressure or minor stressors. So we can call this the environment. But here's the thing: the character that's here, which is smiling, so that suggests resilience. On the other hand, the facial composure and the a vibrant color, the red face and the smile, it's also, we can look at this as a social mask, or red face as context of yellow hair, and it's really suggests vitality and high energy. And if we give some attention to detail, there's a flower on the shirt, so it might suggest self-worth. And also there's the object knitting net or a balloon, some kind of, which suggests purpose or some sort of activity. So grounding thing here is it's pretty secure and structured, so there is nothing much to look at here. And then let's look at the second picture. So we see a picture with a boat, and there's some few kids and stuff, and two of the kids are drowning. So here the boat can signify some sort of family unity. So rather than the stability on the boat, we can see that there is a instability, which exactly suggests that it's a lack of safety in the family structure. Also there's the wave, and some of them are drowning, and there's the open mouth, and some of them are screaming, and from that we can say that it's a cry for help. So it's a chronic vocal aggression which might represent. And there's the eyes that's giving me the figures of dot, and other some more fragment marks that usually symbolizes as high level of generalized anxiety or hypervigilance. Also there's the body language. There's a floating figure, and the floating figure, some sort of starfish like, it represents some sort of helplessness or overwhelm. So critical summary if we do here is that if we connect the concerned child safety and behavior, so this second picture exactly shows some red flags for some emotional distress or environmental chaos. So if we look at the first picture from an analytical perspective, so the stress level of this environment is external and it's pretty well managed, and the sense of self of that kid is pretty integrated and active. Also the environment is pretty predictable, which is very ideal for a child, and the kid shows really well resilience, and that's a very good thing for a child for that age. Also if we look at the second picture, now the whole thing goes just upside down. So for the stress level, that kid is really overwhelmed. Also his sense of self is very helpless. Also he's very fragile. His environment seems pretty chaotic. From his perspective, he feels that the environment is very hostile, and also his emotional state is the vocal of distress, I would say. So right now you might have a question, why am I making a video of such? So in terms of children, they usually often lack the words or that emotional maturity to describe what exactly is happening to them, or what is the safety of their surroundings. So doodles or the drawings, we might just see it and just call it a day as this child's play. But most of the cases, this drawing or these doodles are exactly the first language of a child. So these doodles or these drawings might work as an early warning system of their environment and of their safety. So this gives us a window to look at the subconscious mind, and can also help us to identify the relationship dynamics of their parents and their surroundings. And this can also help us to detect the early red flags, and this can prevent us from disasters that might happen in that surrounding environment if we're aware enough. So this is why I believe that it can be really helpful. So there was a journal in 1997. It's in the Journal of Psychological Nursing. So in the volume 35, that journal exactly explains the doodle and the relationship between a child psychology. So you can check that out. Thank you.